some of the questions that we have for our guest today, and I'm most excited about some of the solutions we have prepared for you. Keep on using the hashtag morning fix, because we're fixing the nation one person at a time. You're already addicted to this show. That's a good addiction, by the way.
That one is not a bad one, yeah. Healthy. It's like, oh, I work out too much. No, I eat so healthy. It's a problem. No, come on, let's be serious. But we are having an amazing conversation around addiction and trying to get as many resources as we can for young people as far as addiction goes, and to also get ways to figure out the ways in which we can legally protect young people, when it comes to matters addiction. Are there frameworks that support young people when it comes to addiction? Are there frameworks that ensure that we don't get there in the first place? We'll be speaking to Aseli Muriguh, who is the CEO of the Democracy and Legal Aid Center. She specializes in health law, also is very passionate about matters disability law. Karibu sana to studio, Emily.
Thank you.
Come closer to the mic so we can hear you vizuri, so we can shine bright like a diamond. I'll ask you to maybe just introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you do in your own words. Yeah.
My name is Aseli Muriguh. I work at the Democracy and Legal Aid Center. At Democracy and Legal Aid Center, which is often Dlac, we promote the rule of law by protecting human rights and advancing democracy through providing accessible legal aid awareness, policy advocacy, and conducting civic education like I am here doing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I love that you are very involved in matters that, deal with young people, civic education, because sometimes these are things that can be very easily overlooked.
Yes.
I'll start with the idea that we criminalize things like, for example, suicide attempts, right?
Yes.
Which can be very problematic. Is there work being done like behind the scenes to ensure that we decriminalize, for example, suicide attempts and stop unfairly targeting like young people who are suffering with mental health issues?
Okay, those are two things in one.
Yes.
So on mental health issues,
Yeah.
first let's appreciate that mental health is a condition. We should treat it like any other sickness. So we should not discriminate people who are mentally incapacitated based on their health condition. We have proper law that ensures the mentally disabled people are taken care of. The primary one being the Mental Health Amendment Act of the 2022. And 2 points to carry home from the act. Even the mentally disabled people, they have legal capacity. They have ability to make decisions. Unlike the previous act where your decision was binding only when you're in a lucid moment, ile wakati watu wanafikiria uko sasa sawa. Otherwise you're not able to make decisions for yourself. Right now they are considered legally capable to making decisions. We have decentralization of health services. Previously ukionekana we ni mwenda wazimu, you had to be taken to Madare. So right now every citizen from every part of the country should be able to know that at county level you can visit any county hospital, get mentally assessed. Assessment comes in a mental assessment and age assessment. Get services, that is health services, get aftercare services at county level. So in regard to suicide that is an afterthought matters alcoholism. How do we tackle that? I think the best way is first to prevent, take preventive measures in regard to drug and substance abuse. Yeah.
All right. Take preventive measures so that we don't get to the point where we have to deal with these things. But when we talk about the structures that exist for young people, perhaps to protect them, in your opinion, do you feel like it's possible to deal with addiction without dealing with the prevailing economic times? Because times are tough, and I think that's what drives a lot of young people into drug and alcohol addiction.
Actually, there's a nexus between unemployment and alcoholism. And first we can look at it from 4 different perspectives. Let me start with the economic perspective. So from a purely economic perspective, if alcohol is a normal good, then there's a decline in income due to unemployment, which will lead to a reduced alcohol consumption. On the other hand, unemployment results in greater leisure time. So with that time, you're able to engage in social drinking, which is not what exactly we want. So we create opportunities. And Article 55 of the Constitution provides that the state shall take measures, including affirmative action programs, in order to ensure that the youth have access to, among many other things, access to employment. We are in the Kenya Kwanza government. We're best to start the discussion on affirmative action without pointing the youth charter by the Kenya Kwanza government. And the president really promised a lot to the youth, which we need to remind ourselves. We need to assess how are we progressing on the promises made to we the youth, especially on this matters employment. Let me start with engaging the youth employment and empowerment programs. For instance, currently we have the Public Service Commission that has run an advert to recruit 8,000 interns for the government ministries, departments, and agencies, which will be closing on the 14th of August. Please, you youth out there, instead of engaging in alcohol abuse, drug and substance abuse, kindly consider taking advantage of this opportunity and apply for that internship. The president also promised a revolving fund for small businesses, where we have also seen the enrollment of the Hustlers Fund. So we as the youth, we look forward to actualization of the promises by the president to waive KRA tax penalties for youth-owned businesses and opportunities where the youth are able to benefit from minimum taxable profits in order to increase cash retention for the youth-owned businesses. This will lead to expansion of these same businesses. So that's one opportunity.
Okay, I had a personal question earlier on, because I have a young niece, I have a young nephew out there, and I'd like to know if there are like laws that could actually protect them. I think you were going to answer that as soon as we come back.
We're getting back into the music, and then when we come back, maybe we can get a clue of how the law is set up to protect young people, and especially those under the age of 18. For now, DJ Nara takes us back into the vibes.